Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Church of the Ascension. We have just started this new things, Meet Someone Special, from the congregation of Church of the Ascension in Lower Broughton, and some of the key people from Salford. So every week we will invite one of the guests and explore about Salford, about Lower Broughton, about Church of the Ascension. Today, we got a very special guest. His name is Warren Mitchell. He's a long-standing member of Church of the Ascension. His family always worship in this church. He is church warden and he's ordinand in the Diocese of Manchester. He's a man of God. He's very dedicated. He's very committed. He's very loyal to his call and to the people of Church of the Ascension, Lower Broughton. Here we are. Welcome, Warren Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Father.
Good afternoon. So tell us something about yourself, Warren. Where were you born?
Well, I'm very much a Salford lad, born and bred in Lower Broughton. I actually attended Ascension Junior School with very close connections with the church, both myself and my family. Right from a very early age, all my family have been baptised in the church. My parents were married there. So there's really strong connections with the church right the way throughout all of our lives.
Excellent. What is your role in the Church of the Ascension?
Well, I've done many roles. I'm a member of the PCC. I'm also a Eucharistic minister and altar server, and I'm also church warden as well. So the church warden basically is responsible for the fabric of the building and the upkeep of the building.
Tell us something about Church of the Ascension.
Well, the Church of the Ascension was built in 1869. It's a Grade 2 listed building, and it was built on land dedicated by the great Colonel Clews, as some people in Salford may remember his name. So last year we actually celebrated our 150-year anniversary, which was a great event. So our church basically was built on an area to serve the people of Lower Broughton and the parish of Broughton. It was built primarily to serve the people from quite impoverished backgrounds. It was quite a large slum area at the time with very much deprivation. So it was built very much to care for and serve the people of Lower Broughton.
Excellent. What happened to Church of the Ascension a few years ago?
Well, as our Lower Broughton, or New Broughton as it's often referred to now, was revitalised and rebuilt, we did have a lot of donations coming in from organisations such as the National Heritage and National Lottery for refurbishment works on the building. We managed to raise hundreds of thousands of pounds for essential structural work and facilities which could really bring people into the church and be a space for the community. So not long after we completed the work, in February 2017, we got the news that there was a devastating fire in the church, which was caused by an arson attack. And the church was basically completely destroyed apart from the outer shell. So at the moment, we are very fortunate to be rebuilding the church.
So what is the update about the building development at the moment?
Well, we are running behind, but we've just finished the first phase, which is the actual structural work of the church. So now we have a roof on. We have the internal structure, the main supporting structure completed. We have new walls. So the outer facade or the actual structure of the building is now secure. So we're now moving into phase 2, which is the actual internal works, which includes putting a new floor in, and other essential things like that, electricity, heating, all the essential things that we need to make the space of the church occupiable again.
And when do you think the church will be completed and we will be back to worship in the church?
Well, we're hoping by probably late summer this year, 2021. We will have basically the basic structure. So we will actually be able to occupy the church in some way. So we will be able to back in the church and worshipping and holding community events as well. But in a limited way, because then we'll go on to the next phase, which is the internal fit out, if you like. So that's all the heating, putting kitchens in, toilet facilities, everything that we need to do to make it a welcoming place for everybody.
And where are the people worshipping at the moment?
Well, we're currently at Riverview School. We worship there on a Sunday morning. At this time of COVID, though, and the schools being closed, we're actually temporarily established at St Paul's, which is on the Broadwalk on Salford Precinct.
Excellent. What are you thinking about future of Church of the Ascension?
Well, I think one thing that stood out for me very much so, with all the support and indeed offers of both spiritual prayer gifts and financial and practical help, is the community involvement with the church. The community has really rallied around and to insist that the church be rebuilt. So my hoping is that the church will become once again the focus of the community, primarily as a place of prayer and worship, but also as a place for the community, for community events and such things. What
are your expectations from your new minister, which is appointed 6 months ago?
Well, we're very much looking forward to the work that he's doing in the community and raising our profile as well. We are, I suppose, it's very much about gathering people together and exploring the possibilities of the church and our spiritual life together as well. And really, again, focusing people back onto the Ascension Church as a place for all people, whether worshipping or not worshipping.
And you didn't mention the name of your new priest.
Oh, sorry. Our new priest is Father Falak.
Thank you.
A new Paranian priest.
Thank you. Warren, you've been serving in the Church of the Ascension for a long time. How did you feel your call, that God called you to be a priest?
Well, I think first and foremost, it is a calling. It's not something you decide one morning. It takes a long period of discernment, really, and all people's journeys are very different. I suppose for myself, I was doing various roles within the church, and I was always putting more and more in. But I think God was calling me for something more specific, and that role was within priestly ministry. And I suppose for myself, it took quite a few years to actually realise what that calling would be. And like with most people who go on this journey, there's a lot of denial, especially for myself. I was thinking, it can't possibly be true. Why me? Why is he giving me this calling? But the one thing that you do realise is that if the calling is true, then God won't let you go. It'll keep persisting with you. So I spent a couple of years following my own discernment, really. I spoke to a number of people, including some very experienced priests, and I was quite surprised that their responses were quite affirmative, really. And I was involved with a society called the Additional Curate Society, and managed to spend some time with them at St Stephen's College in Oxford, where I had the opportunity to speak with people, including a bishop. And to my surprise, I wasn't the only one there. We were with a group of people feeling exactly the same as I was feeling. Mm-hmm. So that was just a wonderful experience, just to really speak to people about my calling and to discern if my calling was real. And so when I arrived, shortly after I arrived back from St Stephen's, I contacted the DDO, who's the assistant director of ordinance, and we kind of got the ball rolling from there.
And how many more years to go to finish your training?
In my second year at the moment, I'm studying with St Hills College, which is located in Mirfield near Huddersfield. Mirfield's actually a monastic community and a monastery, not far outside of Huddersfield. So I'm in my second year at the moment. I have one more year to go. Hopefully, God willing, to be ordained as deacon in summer next year, and then sometime after I've served my curacy to be ordained priest.
Excellent, excellent. So when you finish your training, what is your vision as a priest? What are you going to offer to the church?
Well, I'm quite fortunate. Is the ministry that I'm following is self-supporting ministry, and it's ordained local ministry. So I'm fortunate to be coming back to serve the parish where I grew up, the parish which I know mostly. So it's a great opportunity for me to actually serve the parish. I understand the history of the parish. I understand the people of Salford. I understand what we've been through as a parish. So I think really for an ordained local ministry, it's really ground basic roots. Really, it's really getting to know people and just bringing people to understand God and letting Jesus be revealed in their lives. Really, so my future ministry is very much focused on my local parish.
Excellent. Any final wisdom? Any final word for audience who are watching and will watch later?
We have a wonderful opportunity together as a community and parish in Low Broughton. So much has changed over the years. We're now, I think, our third regeneration. Many families have moved away. It's been so many changes. Different people are moving into the area. But we have a great opportunity to become one community again. And it's up to us how we build that community. And there is a real sense of community and belonging with everybody in Low Broughton. And we'd just like the church to be a focal point for that as well, to be central to our community, as it has been for the last 150 years. So I'd really encourage everybody in some way to make their voices heard. Let us know what they expect about the future of the church. We've had many community organisations coming forward already, and some of the ideas what we can do to outreach to people and especially to serve the poorest people within our community are really encouraging and really exciting. So I'd really urge everybody to have a think and get in contact with us and just keep an eye on how things are progressing and let us know if you'd like to become involved in some way.
Thank you very much, Warren. And this was Warren, and he has spoken very highly about Church of the Ascension, about the future of the Church of the Ascension, and about the development where we are up to with the building work and with the mission work, which we will continue in future. So we will invite again next week someone special. And there's a surprise at the moment, but we will let you know who that someone special is next week. So keep on watching Church of the Ascension channel. And we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on Twitter. So tonight, we'll see you at 7 o'clock for night prayer. So until that, we'll say goodbye and see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Thank you, Warren.
Thank you, Fab.